Welcome back to, well, I guess this is sort of a special video. We're talking to Joe from Extreme Tabletop Gaming with the Royal Tabletop Regiment for the Canadian Tabletop Championship.
You almost did it the first time. Oh, you're so close.
It's like too many words and too many letters at the same time. Now, Joe is going to be running the big convention coming up in May in Ottawa.
Yes.
The Canadian Tabletop Championship.
That's the one.
Can't say too many times.
Not too fast.
Not too fast. But you've been up to other things first, right? You were at a recent event down in the States. So, So tell me about that one there.
Yeah, absolutely, Pat. So obviously, thank you very much for having me on to the program once again. Out of the basement. Sorry, it's been an amazing sport. And cheers. Yes, thanks. We'll take a quick pause here. Yeah, so thanks Pat and the OOTB crew for having us. It's really great to be able to get back in. It was just funny, I was on the way here, I was taking a pause just to go, you know what, you guys are the ones that introduced me to podcasts. Yes. I didn't even know what it was like a year ago, and now I'm like flipping through my 7 podcasts I just listened to.
And you've been put some stuff up yourself now from the event, which is Las Vegas, right? I believe it was?
Yeah, so I just got back from the Las Vegas Open. It was in Las Vegas. It was a really fantastic 4-day gaming convention all in.
Now, is that mostly Warhammer, or is it...
Yeah, so I'd say it's a gaming convention with the largest event being Warhammer, which Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer Doubles, Age of Sigmar, Guillotine, and kind of like all the other Games Workshop brand games. It's the largest Warhammer 40,000 event in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had over 750 tickets sold, and I think at the end of the day, when all the dust settled, it was about a 650 to close to 700 person event.
That's
so
crazy.
It was massive. They talking to Reese, one of the CEOs of Frontline Gaming, they said that they grew by just over 30%, which is just amazing. And so, but they did have everything. Like, it's really cool. It's kind of like a much bigger version of what we're doing at the Canadian Tabletop Championship. You know, it's a chance for everyone to come and play. Like, there's open play areas, there's organized play areas, there's casual events, and there's also championship events.
And there's also areas you can go talk to different people and stuff like that for just
hang out
and stuff like that.
Absolutely, yeah. So Bally's Casino has, I think like all the casinos, they have convention rooms, convention spaces, convention halls, and they had what felt like an entire wing of the hotel. Like it was, I don't know the square footage, but well, if you think of 400 gaming tables, and it's 64 square feet per gaming table when you kind of do your rough measurements for planning purposes.
Yes.
So that's a big number. You know, you're talking well over 25,000 square feet. That's so crazy. When you walked in, I think I posted a couple pictures. I was just like, whoa. Yeah. Whoa. You know, everywhere you look, there's 20 tables going this way, 20 tables going this way, 400 tables in the middle, and it was crazy.
Something to dream for, though.
Yeah, dream, yeah. And you know what was amazing is the people, even though a lot of people from all across, America, North America, and the world, everyone was super friendly.
That's great.
So that community that we've kind of grown and gotten used to here in the local area, where everyone's kind of connected and goes to each other's events and has an interest in each other's activities, well, it felt like that as well on just a larger scale.
And that's why I think that's the CTC, the tabletop that you're doing for Canada, is there is no national Canadian championship.
No, we just didn't have that type of brand yet.
Sorry, I guess there's Canadian championships, but for specific games, not a whole convention for all across Canada.
Yeah, we really didn't have a united national level event. And there's amazing events all across the nation. Every month you could check your calendar whether you're playing. Say if there's 20 major game systems, there are amazing events for each one of those 20 game systems, but you don't get them under one roof often. And the closest thing that we have would be something like the Tabletop Gaming Expo with TGX coming up in Toronto. They just announced it sometime mid-July, and it is a gaming convention as well. But they're still growing, and I think there's a lot of space in the community. People are wanting events, they're wanting activities, they're wanting to get out and play, and they have an amazing army for whatever, X-Wing, Armada, Bolt Action, Infinity, and they want to get out and use it. A lot of people are building these types of hobby events at both a competitive and casual level, and looking to play more. So we just kind of fed that need.
Well, also because it's not just the tabletop games, there's board games as well that you're offering, role-playing games.
Absolutely.
Well, that's for free to play. You are doing the championships for certain events, which we'll
Yes.
get into in a second.
For sure.
But you also have a lot of areas that's just open gaming for board games and for role-playing games, because I know one of our OOT people, Devram, is going to be running some Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
So now you have some events coming up that you had a few changes for the CTC.
Yeah. So we our original scope was very broad and very open, and like we didn't want to limit anything. Like we'd gone through a couple different planning cycles, so now we're on our final draft or like our final design. So originally there's going to be 6 or 7 championship level events, and we've actually pared it down based on like user input, user ticket sales, user desires, and inquiry. And one of those ones was from a very early point we realized that hosting War Machine was just not going to work at CTC because there's the South Ontario Open
Yes, the same
in like Toronto area,
Yeah.
and it was a massive event for War Machine, so we just didn't want to double tap on the exact same weekend. So very quickly we took War Machine and put it down to like a casual and demo level. Then what happened is with Star Wars Legion, although there is a Star Wars Legion in Ontario and in Ottawa and other communities and cities and regions, it's not a large community, and they didn't seem to have like a formed group where there's already another large Legion event. So we just changed it to a casual instead of a championship. We didn't want to have like 10 people show up, 8 of them being casual, 2 being competitive, and then just have a bad event. So we just changed it to casual only.
That's true. Well, it's also like that's growing too, because now like, they know this event here. Hopefully next year you're going to have enough interest to say, oh, well, you can actually have it.
That's right. Very much. In fact, one of the great things working with Out of the Basement is the social engagement with our community. Like we have an amazing tabletop gaming community, and sometimes there's amazing events that are happening but just don't get advertised or heard of. So working with groups and partners like yourself is amazing to be able to get the word out. And we are looking to build on it for the next year, many years to come. So this year, it'll be a War Machine casual. This year it will be Star Wars Legion casual or for fun. And this year we're also doing it with Age of Sigmar. So Age of Sigmar was intended to be a large event at the championship level. We just didn't have the interest in terms of a dedicated tournament organizer that wanted to be able to get in and run a competitive version. So we're going to run a casual one. A lot of people are actually playing it casually in the area. And about 5 people said, "Hey Joe, like I don't really want to play champs. Could we do something a little bit more lighter, more fun in one day instead of 2?" I said, well, sure. And initially I just was going to do both champs and casual, and now we've just made it just the casual. So it's just a nice progression. Like as I said, we've kind of gone through multiple planning cycles, and now we're kind of like on the final product.
Well, like you said, it's taken a while to realize what the demand is, what the interest is, and it's like, okay, well, we'll modify what we planned.
Exactly. So just to recap what we do have for championship events, our Warhammer 40,000 Championship Open is still like by far our flagship event in terms of ticket sales and numbers and interest. Close behind that is actually now our Infinity event, our Infinity Championship Open, with the TO is Gianni Rossi.
Oh,
and
yes.
Yeah, so Gianni's been working really hard, and he has a huge number of the Quebec community has just recently kind of joined in, so it pretty much doubled in size in a matter of just over a week and a half of people currently attending, and still growing. Like, check my phone and every once in a while, and it's like, oh wow, another Infinity player, another Championship Open player just bought their tickets. So it's really cool. And so Infinity, and a quick little rabbit hole here on Infinity. We've also recently been getting our Infinity terrain back from it, paint and assembly. So we'll get into that a little bit more. But like it's really exciting. Just in the back of the van right now, I have 2 sets, and they look amazing. It's like 30 buildings per table.
Oh, wow, that's really big.
But we'll get into that in a minute. And then so the next one, so it went Championship for 40K and Infinity. Bolt Action is our next one, and our tournament organizer is Mr. Paul Saunders out of the Kingston area.
Yes.
And that's going really well as well. And then we have our last 2, which are our Star Wars events, X-Wing and Armada.
That's the 5 events. Now, are they on every day, or like what days are which tournaments?
So the main rejigging that we did, space has been limited. So we kind of, when we were running 7 championship events, we had to play around, and it wasn't an optimal space solution. So what we did is when we cut back down to 5, what it has allowed us to do is on Saturdays and Sundays are when all the championship events are.
Good.
So instead of having some of them start on Friday, which is sometimes a little bit harder to get off work or to make it happen, every single champ event will either be on Saturday or Sunday, or both Saturday and Sunday. So it's really great for the average person coming from out of town. We literally just got 2 tickets yesterday from a guy from Houston, Texas to play Flames of War. I was like, whoa, holy smokes. Well, let's, so I touched base with him really quick and said, hey, you're coming from far away, what can I do to help you? And, But yeah, we've been having people like really kind of from the Halifax community. A few people have just recently bought for different events. And from Victoria, one guy just bought a ticket last week, and it's amazing. It's really humbling.
Well,
actually.
and actually, it's pretty good for considering like your first year. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
when you're getting people from Atlanta, Texas, and other areas, this is great.
It's huge, and northern New York, like there's a whole crew driving. So really quick, back to LVO. Met a ton of people, had a great time, but also a whole bunch of people signed up for the event. Like right then and there, it's like, oh, well, do you have a business card? Of course, here's a business card.
Well, in that case, when we go to Adepticon, we'll bring some cards down with us, and also,
really great.
you know, like just let them know because. It is at the end of March, but it's May is the CTC. We should remind people again, the May 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Correct. Yeah.
So when we go to Adepticon, we can bring stuff there to let them know because it's not
a
too
little
far.
swag for people, and when people ask about it, I mean, there's people actually like that kind of live in the middle between the Ottawa and Chicago. So you know, if you're in upstate New York or you're in pretty much Maine or New Hampshire or some of these places in the northern east United States, it's actually not that far away. Like it's a 5-hour drive in many cases. Exactly. Guys in Buffalo are like, hey, wow, and there's some great partnerships we're making in Buffalo with the Beef and Wings for the event.
Exactly.
And they're like, hey, yeah, we're setting up a crew. So I just sent them out a little discount code to help them kind of make their way up from Buffalo. And,
great.
Yeah.
So there's the main events, and then there is a lot of open gaming as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a little bit there.
Yeah. So we have our championship, which are kind of like our competitive tiered events. Fully prize support, full awards, very organized, very structured, and your expectations are essentially going to be met at the higher level. Like you're there to play competitively across other people of like minds who've kind of come in from out of town to gather and play. Then we have premier events, which are many of them are casual, some of them are narrative based. But it's also an organized tournament, but at a kind of a step back. Like you can kind of rock in and drink a little bit more. At the
I was
table.
gonna say more like you're sort of being competitive with your buddies, so it's not you're not going to be as you'll still be invested, but it'll be like okay. Yeah.
That's right. And most of these events are 1 days, not 2. So your premier level events could be, as an example, we have Warhammer 40,000 Casual, Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team, we have Warhammer 30K, which is Horus Heresy, we have Adeptus Titanicus, we have even our random doubles event for Age of Sigmar and 40K. So that's where you get like 12 events right now, which is planned, but they're casual. Many are on Friday, some on Saturday, and some on Sunday. So when you look at our list, when you go to ctcgc.org, which is the Canadian Tabletop Championship Gaming Convention.org, and you go there, you'll see how we kind of broke it down by Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And not only do we have casual events, which are planned and structured, we just have open play gaming. So if you're like, hey, Friday, you want to come in, and actually something I didn't get a chance to talk to you about is some club showdowns on Friday night.
Oh, really? Oh.
So let me quickly run you through. Friday during the day, we have casual events. Cool, no problem. But at the evening, we have like all these great clubs, like whether it doesn't matter what game system, X-Wing, Infinity, yada yada. There seems to be about like a Centertown club, a Barhaven club, an East club, a Gatineau club. So there's like 3, 4, 5 clubs or teams in the area. And I thought it was really cool that we get them together on Friday night, and you might have a team of 4. So say 4 from team 1, 4 from team 2, 4 from team 3, etc. And they all like kind of randomly play someone from a different club in a single game, and the overall average of all those games equals who had the best club for that game system.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So it's only like from like 7 to midnight on
and it's
Friday.
A fun sort of thing, right? So
it's fun.
Like
you show up, you get your beer, you go up to your table, you play one game against one guy in a relaxed environment, and then you finish your game and you check in with all your teammates, and then it's like, hey, okay, well, your club went 0-4, and this club went 4-0, and then all of a sudden
it's playing for bragging rights.
Yeah, it's bragging rights. Like, oh, my Centertown club beats your Easttown club, and you're like, oh, okay,
that's
cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And now, are you going to have panel for discussion panels and stuff like that as well? I think you had planned stuff like that.
That's right. We're looking at both Friday night and Saturday night to have the ability to have panelists and kind of like some guest speakers come in from different communities, game development, specific like professionals who play Warhammer 40,000 for a living now. We have some big announcements in the 40K world. Our number 3 in the international tournament circuit, ITC, Mr. Nick Nadavati is coming up.
That's
from
awesome.
And he's a celebrity within our particular gaming community. He's not only attending and playing, but he's also going to be running a clinic and a separate hobby seminar as well.
Oh, nice.
So we have quite a few people from the top 10 in the world, and if you look at the top 100, there's definitely even more. So we're actually got a very competitive looking Warhammer 40,000 Championship open, and so there'll be panelists on terrain building, but we're still taking topics. So terrain building, game design, and Warhammer 40,000 are kind of the 3 right now, and those will be social, like a very light and easy, casual question and answer, a little bit of structure, but not it's not a debate per se. It's more just like a chance to meet some cool people, like-minded over beer, and yeah.
Now, also, you are playing stuff for the families as well.
That's
so
right.
one of the things you were talking about was having painting time with the kids.
Yeah, like a hobby corner, a hobby
Yes.
area. So the family aspect, it's a little bit easier to run like a single event tournament where everything goes into a single event: your love, your support, your dedication, your resources, your planning, and all your energy. Running a gaming convention, you have to look at a couple other factors, and one of them is really the family aspect of it, which is why when we did take the decision to kind of make it on the gaming and family oriented, to make it a gaming convention, it was, well, let's do some things for the family. So one of them is like doing a hobby corner run by Brushfire Studios, who are going to help us.
Yes.
My business, Extreme Tabletop Gaming, is going to donate a bunch of miniatures, and we're getting some miniatures from other sources, and we're allowing kids to be able to pick out a mini. The paints will be there, they hang out with their parents, and one of the instructors or volunteers, and they can get to paint and take home one of their very first minis. And it won't just be Warhammer, it might be some War Machine, might be some Age of Sigmar, it might be just something, like about that size.
Even Star Wars.
Star Wars, of course.
The small infantry ones.
Yeah, they're perfect size. And if the Stormtroopers, a little bit of white, a little bit of black.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's really going to be a chance for a lot of children. I think it'll be tougher for the young kids, like
Yes.
3, 4, 5. But if they have a chance just to be able to sit down for 10 minutes with their parents and just kind of just listen
It's
to
doing
us
something
and
to
do
keep the
doing something
family.
fun.
That's, I think, one of the big differences with CTC for a lot of other gaming events. Is the other gaming events, even though there's open stuff, they're more geared towards still the gamers as opposed to a family event.
That's right.
Like you were just the one recently, beautiful, but it wasn't really very family.
It was mostly gamer oriented.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though it's a gaming convention, in their case, I'm pretty excited that for, as you said, first year gaming convention, first chance at the bat, we're actually kind of getting there. There'll be tons of room for growth for the years to come. But yeah, the fact that we're already kind of thinking about it now means that if you bring your family and you haven't enjoyed and you go to the open board gaming area and you play for half a day and you walk away happy, not only did you have fun, but your kids get to take home a little mini, they get to see some cool vendors,
and
they get to meet some cool people.
They're interested in your hobby as well.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is not just the geek weirdness that you do. It's fun, you're with your kids.
That's right.
So
yeah.
they enjoy, like, oh, okay, let's do this some more.
Yeah, and we're it's the same thing with not only just a hobby corner, but also like a face painting type corner we're working on. And yeah, there's some cosplayers we're still working on that with the 501st Legion. So yeah, we do have a lot of cool things in store. And as our scope grows and as the community gets engaged, we'll be able to even make it bigger for the.
And I think that's what, like I said, one of the real things I really like about it. It is not just a gaming event; it's a family event that just happens to be about gaming.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And we are in our we're in our middle 30s, and like most people like us are. But with all your Irish blood, you look like a young lad, good sir. But it's nice to be able to see children. Like my son's 3 years old, and he already likes to pick up and break my little minis. He likes to play with them. A little rougher than
Yes, but
he does, and he enjoes it, and that's great. By the time he's 8 years old, he'll already have like a half painted army and
well, I
play on
have
Saturdays.
same thing. People from our friend Jace, his daughter, especially one of the older ones, they like to paint with him.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
So that's why I think it's great that you're having these sort of things for the kids. Cause
won't somebody please think of the children?
it's like, okay. Also, like, okay, if you bring your family, the gamer person, male or female, goes off to do their event, there's something for the other parent and the kids to do while it's going on.
Exactly.
Because with a family, sometimes like, oh, I'm going gaming. There's nothing for your significant other or family or kids to do. It's like, okay, I'll just sit here and wait or go shopping. This one here, they can come with you.
It brings it all in.
Brings it all in.
And there's a number of people that have already kind of asked, like one-on-one through like just different texting or direct messaging. It's like, hey, if I did bring my family, what could I do? And we're in Ottawa. Like in May, there are events, there are museums, there are festivals, there are outdoor activities. There's spring tool stuff.
Especially like
it's
where
crazy.
the area you're doing it in. Again, let's go through where it is again.
Sure. So the Rideau Curling Club, we're pretty much right downtown on Cooper Street.
Exactly. There's so much to do there because some of the other big events are being held at the EV Center. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Like there's nothing else around it.
Right next to the airport.
Yes. So it's great to have the Comic-Con there, but you can't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like even with a vehicle, you have to drive somewhere. Whereas for the Rideau Carleton Curling Club, You can walk.
Yeah, it's a 10-minute walk to two of the different hotels.
Yes.
There's restaurants within a 12-minute walk, and if you're just taking a little bit of a huff, you can get easily up to downtown, and it's on the bus line too.
Oh, well,
so
that's it.
you know, if you don't want to walk or it's not
Uber,
a great day for walking, you take that $10 Uber, 5-minute bus, and you're there.
Exactly.
So it's really great.
That's like I said, it also helps the area because it's a lot of stuff that's to do for besides just gaming. So if you want to come by, let's take a couple hour break. Let's go for lunch somewhere else.
That's right.
You can
And
do
we were
that.
just talking about supporting small businesses, like just before the show
Exactly.
too.
So
And there's lots of small business, mom and pop restaurants
yes,
in the
in that
area.
area, yeah.
So it's I think there's 6 when we did our quick
I think
logistics.
so, yeah.
depending on
Also been
which
there, but
direction you go in.
Yeah, but that's great. And the parking's free, I believe.
Yes, it will be free on site. It is somewhat limited, and as you know, with downtown, like there's not massive parking lots.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're looking at a contract with one of the local elementary schools to be able to open it up. So that will be included, and it's just northeast of the event.
Yeah.
So we're going to be posting most of the logistics details. The hotel information with the block bookings, confirming restaurants and locations from the venue, confirming the feeding plan, and confirming the parking plan. But for the most part, there'll be street parking. There'll be, if you're a tournament organizer, a vendor, or someone that's part of kind of like the setup crew, there'll be parking physically on the site inside the Rito Curling Limit parking. And then if you're visiting, there'll be street parking in the elementary school just off to the side as well.
That's great. So is there anything else you want to share right now with the viewers or anything?
Yeah.
Or?
Well, I mean, we're 10 weeks out, just over 10 weeks.
That's good. Great.
I took it that quick segue about terrain, but we've kept up the 100 table challenge. Is
I know.
I didn't think it was gonna happen. I thought it was maybe not gonna happen. Even though you set a goal, and if you achieve 70% of goals, sometimes that's enough. But we're already there. We're only 15 tables away with 10 weeks to go, so we're actually way ahead of schedule. But it's only possible because of such amazing people that have both volunteered and pitched in and given us as partners and as sponsors amazing help and support. So
we'll make sure at the end of the video and on the stream we'll put a link in for all the different
that'd be great. So
sponsors and helpers and everything.
We'll give you the full name with their site addresses.
Exactly.
Because it is actually a long list, and these people are great.
We want to make sure, I don't mind, and even all the volunteers and stuff, we'll list their names just to show that. Yeah, it's not just you doing this. This is a community thing getting together. So we have no problem. We'll list them all out.
That'd be amazing.
And that.
But so we've been keeping up on the terrain. We've been keeping up on the resourcing. The contracts are coming to payment now, so which is great. So you wouldn't think about it when you have to fill 10,000 square feet with tables. It's a lot of tables. Hundreds of tables.
Yeah. Well, you're first thinking, we have how much do we have? But I bet you also got to realize you start running into space issues, like you said, right? Because it's so much square foot per table.
That's right.
Plus, you want space,
chairs and
movements,
fire code.
So
I've been going through all the city bylaws for insurance, fire code, bathroom, sanitation. It's busy.
Well, also when you start thinking, so now we have 2 floors, I believe, right?
That's right.
I wanted to bring that up because there's the gaming area. And then there'll be an upper area where more panels. Is that where the panels are going to take place? Or
we haven't finalized the layout, but basically where the 5 sheets of ice are, which is the I think it's 40 by 120 feet, the very large open rink, which is the main gaming area. Just ahead of that, where the bar is, there's going to be kind of like a lounging area. Yes, Patrick will be established close to the bathroom and the bar with a pot of coffee. I think was the deal. Next to the high-speed internet.
Exactly.
So we're gonna have vendors and some of our kind of meetup areas on the main level of the bar, right next to the large projection screen where we can actually stream some of the games,
that would be awesome.
which is very cool. And then just above it is another 800 square feet of space with a second bar where there will be panelists. There will also be our special interest and VIP room for people that are doing clinics and whatnot. And then also
because it'll be a little quieter too, right?
Yeah, it'll be a little bit quieter, and that's also where we're putting our open board gaming area.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we had thought about putting them in the main hall, and it's not a bad spot, but we kind of needed the space, and they already have all the tables set up for everything else that they do. So we're like, well, why would we do all the extra work when we could just put the open board gaming area upstairs, which is run by Meeples to Go, and then it'll be 20% eating area, and then 80% gaming area.
That works because then it's you hear for the open gaming, it's upstairs.
Open gaming area, they have their own bathrooms up there, their own bar, and it works out really well. And if you're actually sitting down overlooking the gaming area, it's a super cool thing. They have these loungers. Yeah, it's a nice glass panel, and you're overlooking the entire gaming space. So it's a great way to enjoy, relax, unplug, charge your phone over a pint, and just watch all the finals or whatever games unfold as they go.
That's great. So I think it's going to be great. And I know we out of the basement will be there every day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And
That's
like I
right.
said, I know
It's
Devon's going to be running some Star Wars role-playing games
Awesome.
for that. And we'll be having people going around doing interviews, and also we're planning to have an area where people can come by and talk to us.
That's
and
really cool. Yeah, I was going to say we got a booth area already set up
we
for
have
you. So.
we have one where we're at the table, and there'll be an area where people we're planning to hold an open mic, so people can come by and just start talking, asking us questions, or talking about their
Perfect.
hobbies or anything they politically correct, but they want to talk about for gaming or
The community
or stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're welcome to come up and talk to us, or just have a spiel if they want to, and that. So we want to open up to that area for anything that they want to come out, talk about gaming, community, or anything like that. So,
Up and coming events. We're
Up-and-coming
actually
events, yes.
recently, really quick, I've been kind of looking at some of the events that are after CTC
Yes.
and making offers that if they did want to do some advertising or promotion at CTC, it's on the house. We are a community building.
yeah. I mean,
endeavor.
the big one after us is obviously the Comic-Con.
Yes, they don't need our
They don't. I was going to say, they don't need
everyone
our
already
help
knows about that.
about that one. But there is a fair amount of events coming up, and like you said, there's always weekly stuff going on in all the different community areas and the stores.
That's right.
So that's again, we're hoping to bring those guys all together to give them a platform to talk.
Yeah, which is fantastic. The chance to get out there, discuss in an open environment, in a social environment too, is great.
It is. So I think we're pretty much, unless there's anything else you want to
We
talk
are there,
about.
good sir. Cheers.
Have
Thank you
yourself
very
a
much,
great one.
Pat.
And
Thank you very much out of the basement. Appreciate it.
thanks to everyone for joining us, and keep track. We'll be putting more updates on as we get closer to the day, but we will be doing updates as well as the CTC.org site.
That's the one.
There's going to be lots of links, don't worry, and lots of updates coming up, so you won't miss anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you.